This is the one. This is the beat. I want to give a huge shout out to Lo-Fi Coffee for making this awesome beat. Check it out on Spotify or YouTube. It is called Café de Brasil. I've been digging the vibes. I love music. I know I've been switching it up and changing it in my podcast, but I'm still finding my style in it. Speaking of my podcast, one problem that I do have with it is I tend to think too much about what other people are going to think about my podcast when I say things. Sometimes in my podcast, I think I talk too much. Maybe I do, probably I do. And I worry too much what other people are going to think, but when in reality, I should not give a fuck. I should not give a shit about what other people think about my podcast. At the end of the day, they can come to my podcast, pull up, and we can conversate about it. I'm not always going to be right. I'm not always going to be right in people's eyes. Everyone's got different beliefs, different perspectives, and it's all good. People just hate too much. But at the end of the day, you gotta thrive of that. You gotta thrive off that hate, thrive off that bad energy, and use it with you, and use that energy towards your goals, to what you want to accomplish. Earlier today, I was watching videos on YouTube while I was eating my food, and I saw how this one chick, she became a YouTube influencer. She was making money. She was being consistent with her work, and I respect it. And then I guess she started doing heroin and whatnot. But what made her lead to doing heroin was all the negativity, all the hatred of just people, always finding ways to, really break someone, and it's pretty fucked up. And I'm not saying I'm gonna do heroin, no way, I'm getting hate on it all you want. I thrive off of it, but damn, people are cruel in this world. That's all I gotta say is people are cruel. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. At the end of the day, we are all main characters within our own world, within our own movie. And all these other people are just the co-characters. Some you build relationships with, some are just bots. Just the cast members that you just throw in, Those are bots. And those just play a certain role. No big deal. They play a certain role in society, but not in your world. And that's how I see it sometimes. Now you got people making fake accounts, so we also focus too much on a social media world where it's just an illusion. It's a different world, and people can get lost in it. And I'm not here to bash on social media. I know I bash on that shit a lot, but I'm a hypocrite to it too. I'm not gonna lie. I get on social media sometimes, and again, I'm a hypocrite, but it all comes with a price. At first it was, me marketing my podcast, but then I started getting lost in it, and now I gotta restrict myself again. Social media is dangerous, but again, it's how you use it, and I'm not gonna go into that rabbit hole with social media. But I've been thinking about a lot of things lately. One important thing is momentum. However you start your day, however you start your week, make sure you're building good momentum. The problem that we have is people prolong what they want to do. People like to prolong their stuff. They find excuses, they find ways. I did it today too. I found so many ways to not do this podcast, and now I'm doing this podcast. But it took me so long because I was prolonging, because I was nervous. We prolong stuff sometimes because we're scared. When I hear my podcasts, sometimes I can become very negative. Personally, I'm my own worst critic. Because I want to sharpen, but at the end of the day, sometimes it's too much where I'm restricting more than sharpening. I'm abusing, I'm neglecting more than sharpening. I think the people that you surround yourself with are the ones that are supposed to help sharpen you. give you guidance. I'm not religious, but I do know several quotes from the Bible that stuck to me, and it's you are who your friends are, and as iron sharpens iron, man sharpens man. Proverbs 27:7. There's certain words that have stuck to me, and have carried that I will carry with throughout my whole life, and I think they bring great value. I want to give a huge shout out to my two of my high school coaches that told me these two things and two different meanings. And I need some water. One is stay focused and relaxed. Shout out to Coach Smith. And that was in your track races, cross country races, is just stay focused and relax. Staying focused is probably one of the hardest things I face. Maybe a lot of people face, I don't know. Can't speak for everyone, but focusing. Even through meditation, even through reading. I've learned to focus more, but still somewhat lack it. But when I'm focused, I'm engaged. And when I'm engaged, I'm fluent. And when I'm fluent, I'm building that momentum. And when you get to that momentum, it's how do you stabilize that momentum? How do you carry that momentum? And how do you keep it moving forward? What should you change? Should you not change? Sometimes it's just being patient. If you're consistent with it, persistent with it, if you're disciplined, discipline. If you're disciplined and you find a balance with everything, you're unstoppable. You are literally unstoppable. I'm a huge fan of Kendrick Lamar, and one of his songs, I think it's Ducksworth. In the beginning of the song, he goes, I thought it was the universe against me, but I found that it's me versus me. Why, oh, why? But see, that's the truth. The biggest battle is us within ourselves. Until we overcome ourselves, we're always gonna be enslaved to our own minds. Straight up, that's how I think, If you don't fuck with it, it's all good. But that's just how I think. We're supposed to free ourselves. Also, student loans, they fuck us up. But at the end of the day, we signed up for it, We knew. That's one thing that saddens me is education. I think education should be free to everyone and it should be distributed equally. It's very segregated with high-income schools and low-income schools. Very segregated. The high-income schools are getting way more funds than low-income schools. And that's just how the system is, and it's unfortunate. And education is key. Education would help out our society so much. It would help out humans so much. Education on health, education on business, on how to grow your money, not how to spend your money, not how to save your money, but how to grow your money. Because people know how to make money, but when you make money, it's how to grow money. We're taught how to spend, and we also have it encoded in our DNA how to spend. We want that instant gratification rather than that delayed gratification. College, college educates us, but at the end of the day, we go through a battle of having to pay student loans, and student loans are expensive, and we blame the government, but at the end of the day, we signed up for those student loans. We knew what we were getting ourselves into. We didn't have to go to college, but we stuck through the process. We could have worked extra hard. Everyone's got a different position in life. I got student loans to make it easier for me. But with that, I invested within myself, and especially in my master's, utilize as much time as I utilize as much time, tools, the school. I use a lot. I use a lot. I utilize the blah 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 blah. I utilize the radio stations, libraries. I don't have to pay for Wi-Fi for one whole semester. Actually, a whole year. I don't have to pay for Wi-Fi a whole year because I was at school all day. I was doing laundry at school for free. You gotta learn how to finesse too. Straight up. The way I see it in life, we're in a game. We're all in a game. You could call it a game, something else, but we're all in this. We're all in this together. We're all in this together. We're all in different positions, and I think we should all help each other. You know. It's cold right now in San Antonio, but it's stupid cold. And in my apartment, for some reason, you know what? I'm not gonna bitch. I don't even care. Anyways, I had no butter and I made pancakes. And how are you not gonna eat butter without pancakes? And I was thinking, should I go to HEB just to get butter? The roads are icy. There's been accidents. The roads are, most of the highways are closed in San Antonio. So should I go all the way to HEB to get butter, or even a convenience store to get butter, when I could just ask my neighbor? I'm cool with my neighbors now, I talked to them, and I was like, why can't I just ask my neighbors for some butter? They said my neighbor asked her for some butter. I gave her a loaf of bread. It worked out. That's how it worked out in history too, by trading goods with your neighbors. Gotta love our neighbors. You know what? We don't even have to love our neighbors, but we should respect our neighbors. That's one thing for sure. Religious or not, spiritual or not, we need to respect our neighbors for sure. And I'm not saying, acknowledge them, respect them, build relationships. It's hard to love somebody. It really is hard to love somebody. Hard to love somebody. It's easy to hate, for sure. It's easy to hate, but it's hard to love. And I think it's the total opposite. I think it should be the total opposite. But it's been encoded for us. It's been hard to love, and it's fucked up. So, that's why I say at least, respect. There's a lot of people that hate the world, and that's fine, but at least respect the world, Respect the environment, respect the people. For the people that just hate, you don't gotta love, but at least respect. Respect the environment, respect families, respect the kids. When you look at the bigger picture, it's not just all about you. That's why you gotta have a balance with the spiritual world and the material world. Because it's not all about you. And you also want to leave a good legacy behind for the next generation. But I'm not here to be a motivational speaker. I'm just here to speak my thoughts. I'm going to start posting more podcasts soon than I did in the past. I'm going to just name them Untitled. Hope you guys dig them, honestly. And really, for the people out there listening, you can love me, you can hate me. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I really don't. But I hope you take something out of this podcast and do something with it. The world is yours, baby. What you can create internally, you can make it externally. Gotta have a dream. Imagination is so important. Never let people take your imagination away, and never let people take away your dreams away. We got those imaginations, we have those dreams. We start putting a plan, we write it down, we have an action. And that's when we have to have those values, those virtues, and put it all together and build that base in the foundation. All right, I am done here. Hope you guys get something out of it. It is what it is. At the end of the day, do you. But keep tuning into the podcast. Keep tuning into Quintero O Dinero. Peace out.